So here's my engine that I've pulled out of my 92 Ford Explorer. It's the 4.0 liter pushrod EFI. I probably should have started filming this earlier. Just a little bit of prologue. Good year ago, driving along, engine was sounding a little funny, and then started smelling like an electrical burning kind of smell. Luckily, I was right next to the mechanic shop that I usually go to. Took it in, and they said the catalytic converter had clogged, and that was heating up. And then I started to notice that there were some funny things going on with the transmission, which I've got hanging on the shop crane over here. But the transmission wouldn't, the torque converter wouldn't lock up. I just kind of put off doing anything about it, and then eventually it wouldn't shift into second gear. I'd have to rev it and then let off and then rev it again, and it would clunk down into first gear or second gear, and it was just having all kinds of problems. So I took it in. The guy told me, you're going to have to rebuild your transmission. It's going to be $2,000. The car's not worth that anymore. So I just said, I'll take it home. I'll pull out the engine and the transmission. The transmission is going to cost $2,000, and the engine was running, but it was having some problems. It would start cold just fine, and it would run just fine. But once it had warmed up, if I turned off the motor and then got back into the car and tried to start it again, it would run really, really rough. I think that's a PCM issue. It sounds like it's running in its learning mode, and every time I turn it off, it goes back into learning mode. So for some reason, it's not storing the running values that it needs. That's my theory. But also, I figured I might as well just take the engine apart and do a full rebuild. Well, not a full rebuild, but at least take it apart and see what was wrong, replace what I thought needed to be replaced. So this is the state that the engine is in now. Pulled it out of the car with the transmission attached. That was fun. It took me a while because I've never done it before on this car, and I just took my time, wanted to make sure I didn't do anything stupid. The exhaust caused me problems. I had to cut through both sides of the Y tube because the bolts on the exhaust manifolds were rusted, completely frozen, could not get them off. So I just cut through the Y tube. I'll just weld them back together when I get ready to put it back together. But this is the state of the engine right now. Just last night I pulled off the throttle body and the upper manifold, and I just did the lower manifold today, pulled off the valve covers. But so basically, this is the state that the engine is in. Everything is black. I don't think that this is how this engine should look. I haven't really, the only engines I've ever taken apart before were Volkswagen engines, and those aren't really engines, they're more toys than anything else. But I figured, what the hey, I can take this one apart. If there's something majorly wrong, I'll just throw it away. The car wasn't worth anything anyways. If I can fix it, I'll fix it, and I've got a car back. But this is the state of everything under the valve covers. Everything is just totally black, at least on this side. On this side, I don't know if you can, I'm pretty sure you can see the change in coloration. You can see that this is kind of more the gold color that I would expect. But on this side, it is just all pure black. And when I took the valve cover off, it just overwhelming smell of burnt oil. This is the state of the gasket. Doesn't look great. There's a bunch of RTV there. I don't think that makes a bunch of difference though, because that's just the dead end to the cooling channel. Bunch of crap in the. These are the intakes. I don't think the intake should look like that. That's a lot of crap for being the intake. But yeah, I wasn't quite sure how to diagnose this. You know, are my exhaust valves leaking, or my intake valve leaking, or both leaking? Why does everything look so burned? So yeah, if you can help me diagnose this would be great. You can see the engine block is just absolutely dirtier than... I'm finding big old chunks of mud and spiders and just a mess. So I'll clean this up, but really what I want to know is, you know, how bad is it? What have I got leaking? What do I need to replace? Any suggestions on anything that you would do if you were going to go tear down a motor and basically just tear it all the way down and rebuild it? What are the weak points? What do I need to change? What don't I need to change? What do I just leave alone? Any suggestions? Let me know. You can see a new water pump on there. That did me a lot of good. But yeah, any input you have would be great to hear. Any ideas on what I should do to it, make it stronger? Any ideas on what I should leave alone? Let me know. And after I rebuild the engine, I'm going to be rebuilding the transmission. So I'll make videos starting from the very beginning when I start tearing that down. And yeah, any suggestions, more than welcome. Love to hear them. And yeah.